We could have homes on separate coasts, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the parents' lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the parents' lounge is the cure to staying sane. Jen Kristin from I Mom So Hard are here today. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited.
We're kind of squeezing you in on your couple weeks home before you embark on another insane national tour.
Yes. We leave on the 21st. We're going to be in Philly. And the 22nd of January, we're going to be in Pittsburgh, which we've been saying the venue name wrong all this time. Oh, yeah. Go for it, Jamie. Please. You'll get
Philly,
it right.
St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Denver, Biloxi, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, South Bend, Milwaukee, Omaha, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Grand Forks, Winnipeg, Calgary, Spokane, Reno, Salt Lake, Thousand Oaks, Anaheim, San Diego, Toronto, Ottawa, Seattle, Eugene, Santa Rosa, Austin, and Dallas.
What?
Are we doing that?
Dude. And people go to imomsohard.com, obviously, come see them. Now, this is a whole new tour. You guys already did one tour, and now you wrote a whole new show, and you're hitting it again.
Yeah, and your special is fantastic, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
There are very few things that my wife and I both think are funny at the same time. And she's like, let's watch this show. And I was like, there, Kayla recommended, I'll give it a shot. And we did. And I laughed so hard the entire time. You guys are fantastic.
That means so much. Thanks so much.
And you got my wife drunk, and it turned out well for me. So thank you on two ends.
You know
That
what?
is, we deserve a lot of thank yous from husbands because we have women come out to the live show. They leave liquored up and empowered.
Yeah. So the husbands are like, it's not even our anniversary and this happened. This is great. So
Do you get feedback? Do women actually just go home and wake up their dudes with a little howdy do?
Yes.
Yes.
They do. They do.
Yeah. There's my mom so hard.
At least one.
Yeah, there's my mom so hard babies for sure. Yeah, we know that.
Well, let me ask you, do you then cruise onto the tour bus with all the boy toys you dragged backstage and start knocking boots?
Let me tell you something. It may be back in the day when we were in our 20s and we were single. If we would have been smart, this would have been like, hey, we're nothing but a rock band. We're ready to party. But we play primarily for women that are awesome. And like, there are no dudes around, not even. But here's the thing, we're happily married and we have great husbands. But the fact that we have somehow now we get to be out in this universe with all these people, it's all women. So our chances, I mean, listen, if you dabble maybe, but you know. It's
A woman knows what a woman likes. We'll just leave it there.
Well, don't worry about it is what we're saying. You know, summer camp. It's summer camp.
How hard was it to go back to the drawing board and rewrite a whole new show?
You know what? I think when it started to happen, at least this is how I felt about it. I think Jen and I, there was that entire year where we were all at home and we were scared and you didn't feel creative and nothing you felt like you were doing was funny. It was hard to do just about anything. And then when I think it was like right when we got vaccinated and we started to feel like the cloud was lifting a little bit, like we were like, if it's one thing we got, which we've never had before, it's time to actually sit down and write this show the way we want to write this show. And so we just did. And I think we really gave it our best effort to focus all of our time on it. And like get together and give us excuses to get together and be out of the house a bit and really just start talking about the stuff that made us giggle. And that was really fun because the last 2 tours we've done, which is like, these are not big problems, but we were so busy doing other things. We didn't get a chance to really we've never had a chance to test the material before. This was our first time where we went to a city and we got to test it and see what worked and what didn't work. And that was really cool. So yeah, I think we really worked hard to give this a real at bat.
Jen, that sounds good. Sounds great.
I agree.
I totally get it. Listen,
No, well, so it's technically our third tour, our third show that we've written, like soup to nuts. And the second one, that poor baby barely got it's like we had, how many shows canceled because of a cancel. Yeah. And they moved like 3 times, and God bless everybody who had tickets and kept getting the notification and moving it on to the next date and planning a sitter 6 months out, whatever. But so we finally said we have to write a new show. The one that we that we were going to take out in 2020 is not relevant anymore. We have to address some of the stuff that has happened in the last year. It's not, the show's not all about the pandemic, but the new show is very colored by what happened over the last couple of years.
How could it not be? I mean, yeah, it changed everything.
Yeah.
I would argue the pandemic really highlighted parenting to a degree.
Ooh.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We were I used to do a joke about it, like homeschool. Remember, before the pandemic, when somebody said, "Hey, I'm homeschooling my kids," you were like, "Yeah, that seems normal." Now we go, "Are you insane?"
No, I said people were insane before. I was like, why? Why?
They have schools. They have
Why?
people. Yeah, I know. I just think it really brought home of oh, this is parenting. Okay. I mean, I was with my kids 24/7 for I don't know, 18 months or something. It was crazy. To the point where I don't even like you guys.
So hard. Oh.
It felt like 11 years, even though it was, 11 months. But I also think we've probably fully ended that debate, what's harder, staying at home with the kids or working? It's harder? Working from home with the kids. That's the hardest for anybody.
You got it.
There it is.
There used to only be 2 options. Now there's 3 options, and we all know that it's the third. It's if there's ever been an argument, although we do feel like this is probably the first time, and not to generalize because you guys are modern men, but I think that we're seeing an uptick in husbands come to our show for the first time. It's been really noticeable. And our theory is that it's because husbands have been home for the first time and they see just how hard it is when you are a stay-at-home parent and you have that kid who's 3, 5, you think it should be easy, and it couldn't be harder at that age. The 3 of it all, forget it.
It's crazy. Which one of you two moms harder?
Oh God, I think we both mom harder than we want.
We're both dialing it in a little bit, it's both.
Well, I devised a mother test to decide which one of you guys.
Fun.
Jen's going to win this. It's not even.
No, I'm not. Because I was going to say together we might make one really great mom, but separately we're C.
Do you guys co-mom together? Do you guys team up to parent to your kids?
Yes.
Of course. Yes. Anybody is allowed to yell at anybody's kids, parent.
I tried to get Jen to tell my kids about the birds and the bees because I didn't want to do it. I was ask your Aunt Jen. I don't know. TBD.
That's a really good question. Jen, are you with your family very name specific about body parts? We're still terrible. We're Irish Catholics. I still can't even say the word. I can't.
Vagina?
I can't. Don't.
They do know the medical terminology for their body parts because, there are times that call for accuracy. But my daughter, we say choo-choo and stuff like that just because my husband's very squeamish and he'll he thought the vulva was a 4-wheel drive car for a really long time. And so,
I got to get my dogs out of here. They're moaning. Stop.
Oh, God.
We just taught our 6-year-old the proper terminology because Jamie terminology shamed me. So I decided that the best time to teach your son this is on your way to Christmas shop on the way to Michael's. And so he has this new word in his vocabulary. And right in the middle of the Michael's, he yells, "Gosh, penis sure is fun to say, isn't it, Dad?" and then I was like, "Not here, not right now." And he goes, "Penis, penis, penis, penis." And he just kept announcing it. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
I mean, I do that at Michael's myself, so it's nothing new.
Yeah.
But Jamie, you have 2 girls though. And Jason, you have a boy. Do you have a girl too?
I have 3 boys. I have a 6-year-old and I have twin 2-year-olds.
Oh,
he's
Lord.
in
Your house
wow.
is like pee forever.
I just do the show with him, so I feel better about my life. I mean, I wake up in tears, and then I talk to him for a couple minutes. I'm like, oh, actually, everything's pretty good for me.
Yeah, I have a joke where I say my wife will not know the luxury of a clean toilet seat for the next 18 years.
No. My
she will not have
4 boys in her house. She goes, my house smells like pee all the time.
Yeah.
We also will not know later what a clean tube sock looks like ever.
Yeah.
I
know.
I sit down to pee just in solidarity with the women in my house. I do.
Smart.
It's
Good on you,
easier.
Jamie. Good on you.
All right, let's do this quiz for you. You ready?
Okay.
10 questions. You feel free to chime in with answers right when you know it, and we'll keep score on the 2 of you. Let's see who really moms the hardest. This mother might not have been the greatest mom of all time, but she was good enough to be sainted in September of 2016.
Oh, Mother Teresa.
1 for Kristin, sorry.
How dare you?
I'll take it.
Catholic.
She's Catholic. She has to know that. This is so unfair.
You didn't know Mother Teresa?
They send that as a mailer.
By the way, I don't think she had kids, so is she really a mother? I don't.
Well, God, watch out. Lightning's going to strike Jamie on your Catholic ass.
Nothing. I would love a nice nap.
I'm hoping the next question's Protestant related, so I might.
It is very Protestant related.
Great.
This actress has only 1 child, but apparently that's enough to star in your own sitcom called Mom.
Oh, I know.
Allison Janney? Oh.
Yes.
Anna Faris.
Anna Faris. Kristen's up 2.
Shoot. Casey was helping me cheat and I still didn't get it. Dang it.
Allison Janney. By the way, she is in that show. Yes, she is in that show.
Okay, I don't know if she has kids or not. I think she has daughters.
Yeah. Give her an honorary half.
I'm going to win this because Jen watches Housewives. So if you have a Housewives question,
I'll know all of them.
I'm not going to know it.
We'll just, you know what? We'll make it 2-2, and we'll just say there were 2 questions about Real Housewives, and you got it right. And
Great.
So
Okay.
2-2.
Thank you.
This actor has become famous for his artistic use of the incredibly filthy swear word that starts with the word mother. Even using this term in reference to some snakes on a plane.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, I raised my hand.
Oh, I don't know why you're raising your hand, Kristin. We just said.
Shit. Okay, fine. I'm conditioned.
3-2. Jen came back with the Real Housewives questions. They really came in handy.
Thank you for being polite, though, Kristin. That was very nice.
Like, it's not going to be competitive until they're off camera, and then they go, "Hey, man, that's bullshit. You didn't win."
I know. It's how we solve problems. We say, what do we say? Boobs or gut? Like boobs or butt?
Boobs or butt.
Like you get 1 punch.
I would not.
Not in the
honestly,
face.
I wouldn't mess with either of you. I coached soccer against your husband, Kristin, and
On Silent Saturday, which was the greatest thing to see you. May I say this kindly, group of a-holes running on the sidelines, not allowed to yell at your freaking kids. It was glorious. It was like you guys were like trying to like land a jet plane between you and Colin. I was like, have you seen yourselves? Like, this is all of you with your hands on your hips. Oh my God. There was like 8 dads like literally ready to combust on Silent Saturday. It was wonderful.
So for those of you who don't know, Silent Saturday, we talked about it before. When it happened, we actually showed photos of us all like losing our minds. But you can't coach your kids. You can't yell from the sidelines or anything.
Not at all.
Kind of ridiculous because they don't really know how to play the game yet.
And parents can't either, because guess what I did? I walked right up, gave a big hoot to Eleanor, got a yellow card.
Yeah, you should have. Silent Saturday. Get it together.
I didn't know. You know what? I didn't freaking know.
This band put out the song Mother in 1980, where they ask a series of questions like, Mother, do you think they'll try to break my balls?
Danzig.
No, but I was gonna do the Danzig question. That's a different song.
Okay.
God, of course, Jen knows Danzig.
I
Danzig
love
has a song
Danzig.
called Mother, which is, I love that song. And he's a big
That's like a weird, like, guilty pleasure of mine is Glenn Danzig.
I'm giving you a point for Danzig, but that's not the answer to this question. You're at 4-2, Jen. You're killing Kristin. You are momming it so hard. With the Danzig pull, no mom knows Danzig. You are going to be.
Kristin, I'm sorry. I mean, I guess he's like this, and that he's going to keep.
You're a good mom too. Don't worry about it.
God bless.
Wait, so it's 83? Wait, I want to know what the actual band
include Roger Waters and David Gilmour. And the album is The Wall.
Oh,
Pink Floyd?
Yes, another point for Jen.
Okay. Sorry.
You can't do that. Now you're just attacking Kristin.
5. Killing it. And by the
She's
way,
like, please switch to sports.
This quiz and the winner of this will get the bigger room on the tour bus. It's already been decided.
I don't know if you know this, Jamie, but we are not taking a tour bus, so it will be the person that wins this will get the bigger spot in the pass van.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Whoever wins this gets the back row in the 12-person.
There is one. Yeah.
Okay. Jen, you're killing it.
Shut up.
Thank you. Thank you. I am.
This rapper implores you not to call it a comeback, but he did, in fact, have a huge hit with Mama Said Knock You Out.
Hello, Coulter.
Jen, killing it again. 6-2.
You just flipped me off.
Kristin, here's a bonus question. If you can tell me what LL Cool J stands for, I will give you a point.
Oh crap! I know it. It's like some really terrible name, like Larry Lawrence or Luscious Lawrence or something. What is it? Am I close?
Jen?
Leonard. Don't you cheat with Casey sitting next to you, jerk.
Ladies love.
No, it's not that.
That's it. It is it.
No.
I don't know what the J is for, though. His
name, James. Ladies love Cool James. But I'm going to give you a point for that anyway, Jen, because I love the way
Thank you.
7-2, Jen.
Kristin, if you'd like to file a formal grievance, I'm happy to do that after the show. That's kind of what I do here. This is how I can.
It's 5-2. Go to 5-2. It's fine. It's fine.
5-2. All right, fine. You know what? You're a good sport about this, Jen, and I applaud you.
Can I get an extra point for being a good sport?
You know what?
I don't know why she gets to be a good sport if she's winning.
6-1.
I'm going to hand out.
Attitude, Kristin. 6-1. Taking you down one.
I'm going to hand out just politeness points. I'm going to give 4 to Kristin because she is she's handling Kaler and his infinite Kalerness. So I'm going to give her 4 points. I have that power here.
I pour out 2 bowls of Cocoa Puffs, and they're almost like actors on a sitcom counting their lines. They're like, how come she got more Cocoa Puffs than I did?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I'll add a little to that bowl, then the other one's like, that's not fair. Now she has more.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, every day, every morning. We let them have sugared cereal on Sundays only, and they're like, it's like they've been in prison, and they're like, I counted. She got 52 Apple Jacks, and I only got 47. Give me my Apple Jacks. And we're like, this is such bullshit. It's so hard.
Now, I would argue Sunday is the wrong day to give them any sugar. I kind of limit it on the weekends because during the week, it's like, here's some sugar. Have fun at school where you're not near me.
Smart. Okay, give Jen a point there, Jamie. Give Jen a point.
Jen, 12-1. All right, This pop group got their name by arranging the first letters of the band members' first names into a palindrome.
ABBA.
I didn't even have to go to Mamma Mia.
I don't understand
killing it.
Send her the answers beforehand, Kaler.
This is bullshit. I don't know where
bullshit.
Am I allowed to cuss?
She knows the category is mothers. Mamma Mia, she's playing the game.
Music is also kind of
her thing.
That's one of my categories.
All right, Kristin, I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me their 4 first names.
Oh, Andy, Barb, Bailey, and Andrew.
Exactly wrong. That's totally wrong. Glenn, do you know it?
I don't. It's like Ahmed. They're like all Swedish, right?
Agnetha, Bjorn, Benny, and Annie.
It's yeah.
I mean, Mamma Mia, come on.
They're-
Good stuff. Good
They're
stuff.
very Nordic. Yeah.
They are. They're Swedish. What are you gonna do? This famous actress is currently expecting her first child, but should be ready for the role from when she starred in Darren Aronofsky's creepy film entitled Mother.
Jennifer Lawrence. Ah!
I guess we got to give a point to Kristen on that one, Jen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
too.
Very good. I knew I had no
Get me
guess
out
on
of
that
this
one.
music stuff and get me into pop culture TikTok, and I'm gonna sweep.
All right, here it is. Name one actor who was in the film Throw Mama from the Train. Anyone will do.
Oh,
Danny
Danny
DeVito.
I'm going to give you each a half a point. All right,
Thank you.
name a second actor.
the woman from Goonies that I don't know her name, but she's got a real
Billy
raspy
Crystal.
voice.
Billy Crystal is right.
God, you never. Jen doesn't. You just named one movie. Literally, Jen has seen 4 movies in her entire life, and that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, do you know the old lady's name?
If you get this right, I'm leaving. I will be stuck.
What's her first name?
Anne.
Yep. I don't know it.
Anne Ramsey. But I'm going to give you a point because I felt like
Okay,
you was on the
thank you.
tip of
I
your
was
tongue.
close. I was really close. Tip of my tongue.
A point for close sometimes in games. Is that a problem, Kristen?
I mean, why ask me now, Jamie?
All right, Kristen, this question is specifically aimed at you.
Oh God.
What is the record for the number of children one woman has given birth to over an entire lifetime? And I think you need to put this in your act because this is, it's terrifying.
My grandmother had 13. I think that's terrifying. I think I've read.
Not even close.
My kids like to do this thing where they tell me about the world record stuff, and they always find it with like anything that has to do with genitalia or anything gross. But they did. I think I heard that it was 30. Is that too many?
No.
No.
I Googled this and I mean,
How
I
many?
Googled numerous
I
places
think
just in case it was fake news, but
I think it's 54.
No.
63? It's a whole bunch of quads.
Possible.
all right. It's a bunch of quads. Valentina Vasilyev and her husband Fyodor Vasilyev are alleged to hold the record for the most children a couple has produced. She gave birth to a total of 69 children.
Jesus.
16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. Between 1725 and 1765, a total of 27 births.
She has a vagina like a parachute at this point.
I mean, I think it's like an easy bake oven. He puts it in, and within seconds later, the thing just...
Also, what's with all the multiples? Jesus, like enough already. You've got enough to run the farm.
Honestly, we were ready to just walk away and let the whole house burn from one set of multiples.
Yeah, I don't know. Multiples are...
Were you freaked when you found out you were going to have 2?
I had willed it into existence, and I had joked with my wife because they're the 8th set of twins in my family. So and so I said we're gonna have twins, and then when it happened, I started like laughing maniacally, and my wife is sobbing. She's like, "Why did you do this to us?" Why?
Are they identical?
Yeah, their blood test says that they are 99.95% the same. So literally, and the one so. When the egg split, so did the soul. So they each just got, it's not even half. One got like 60% and the other 30. And 30%. And so
One of them needs to work in finance, then they'll be fine forever.
Yeah. So they'll be able to frame each other. We call the one the Dark Lord. There's something.
I met them, and the one was like in his chair, and the other one just was like this, staring at him. It was like the Omen poster. I was like,
yeah, that's them.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Be done with it. Be done with it. I just ovulated.
I know. And those little haircuts. Come on.
Come on.
I mean, honestly, you guys, you might need some more material coming up. You might want to have another.
Well, I'm going to loan you them because they're not doing any favors for us here.
All right, this will be the last question, and then we'll award Jen the winner. What? What are you talking about? It's already. I think it's already.
Kristen.
And this will be that whoever's closest to this number. What is the record for the number of children one woman has given birth to in one sitting?
I'm gonna say 8. No, I'm gonna say 8. Yep.
Jen?
Jen's like, what was I doing Thursday?
How many,
I was
Jen?
going to say 8 too, but now I feel like I have to say something like 11.
The correct answer is 10. So, of course, Jen, you got it right.
Oh,
Well, we know that.
no. The Price is Right rule says Kristin won that.
Oh, you can't go
I
over.
did go.
You went over. It's 10. Here's the crazy thing: 5 by natural birth, 5 by cesarean section. Did they just not know the other 5 were in there and were like, or they couldn't cut her open fast enough and they just started shooting out like a skee ball machine? We don't know.
Well, there does form a rhythm, I know, after the first one. Yeah.
At some point, your body has to give up.
I would be comatose. I don't know. I'd be like, really? I had that many. I blacked out. That's unfair.
Yeah, 10s. I mean, that's just absolute insanity. I mean, how do you? I don't know.
I mean, I know how. I just don't know why.
I don't know how.
I don't even know how. I don't understand it.
Jason,
I maybe had 10 good eggs my whole life. I found 2 of them. So the fact that somebody's showing off like that is a little much. That's a little much.
Do you guys have a lot of moms who, in your fan base, who are freezing their eggs?
That's a good question. I think it's becoming a more popular option for a younger crowd in terms of, so yes, we get a couple that tell us that they're doing that, but it's more from the single crowd that they're saying like, it takes the pressure off of feeling like you have to find this perfect partner in a certain amount of time. It ends up, if you want to have a baby later, that the everything's healthier. So I just read an article about it where now freezing your eggs is no longer considered a medical treatment because it's so safe and it's been proven. Literally, they just used the oldest embryo, and there's a baby that was just born from a 30-year-old embryo and was fine.
What?
So like, it's crazy what science is doing. I just think like, I'm all for a woman being able to feel like she doesn't have to operate by a clock that feels a little unfair. And also that just makes you make rash decisions. Like, I think everybody deserves to find the person they want to be with if that's what they want to do. So that's more of my answer than what you wanted, Jamie.
No, that's exact. My friend Calais Stewart is a big advocate. She played Steph on My Boys, and that she actually down to teaches seminars and all these crazy things. And I was talking to her because she's going to come on and talk about it. And I don't know why it popped into my head, but it was because everybody's having multiples and stuff. A lot of that's from IVF treatments or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, all this, it's so funny. Before I had kids, I was like, what are you talking about? Now I'm a lactation specialist. I think I got one in speed dial, like ready to go. Like,
Yeah. My husband went to a lactation class without me. He is
the best guy. He really did. He's a good guy.
He went by himself because I was on bed rest. So he went to the booby hut or whatever it was called and like went into class and was by himself. And the women were like, wait, what? And he was like, my wife's on bed rest. We need to like refresh course on this. And so he got in there, and sure enough, by the time he came out, he felt like he was an expert. And then I was like, please don't give women advice about this. Please stop telling them they need to squeeze the sandwich.
But did he come home and kind of try to give you the layman's terms? Oh, here's what you said.
Not layman's terms. It was like he wrote a book on it. He came home and he's like, you got to carry you got a football hold, and it's got to take the whole areola. That's what's got. I'm like, okay, but it was very nice to have his support.
That's a bit too. You have to write that. That's a.
I know, right? It's you can't.
And he has a good set. He has a nice rack.
Well, my husband is a hefty.
He's the guy who takes a cannonball in the 1920s, but he's a big muscular guy with a big chest.
So barrel chested that it's like, he would be a good swimmer.
Technically, men have all the equipment to breastfeed, and I just feel it's sheer laziness that they don't.
I tried. They would never take to my nipple.
Yeah, me too.
They will. They'll take to anything.
So I just didn't give it enough effort.
I'm just saying, like, my kid would have been like, you're fine, she's fine. I don't know if there's any chance I'm gonna get a meal out of it, I'll try.
Well, they try. Like we did the skin to skin. That's the first thing they're doing in the hospital, skin to skin, and then the baby's like, and you're like, hey, what's happening there?
Yeah, they're like, ew.
Mine are super sensitive. I don't like them. I'm not a big pinchy guy.
You're gross.
I have a friend that they adopted or what used a surrogate, and she wore this thing for like 2 months that like made her produce milk. So I just feel like some really confident dude could put that on and really
and we put that on you guys and a leaf blower.
On board. I'll give it a shot.
I'm just saying.
That was my wife walking around with.
I know. It's so weird. My husband was always like,
What's
trying to make an international call.
Yeah. What's the call? What's the words that always, it was like,
cheese it, cheese it, cheese it, cheese it,
cheese it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Nothing is more demoralizing than when you're pumping and you're a high school teacher and a kid walks in on you when you're in the teacher's lounge, full boat, pumping. Sure. I would just like to say that kid will never get anybody pregnant.
No, that kid's damaged. He's never going to get erect. That kid's damaged.
I was like, I didn't know you were supposed to be in there. And I was like,
nothing makes you feel more like swine on a pig farm, than like a mama sow than these like milkers hooked up to you.
Ugh.
Rough. You're welcome for that.
You're welcome.
Where to go from here?
You know, Jason wanted to ask you. He's right in the middle of. He's trying to potty train his twins. Do you guys have any advice for? I know it's a long time ago, but potty training.
I was going to show you. That's them, Anthony and Logan, and we're going to start because they're turning 3 in 2 weeks.
Get it done. You know, here's what I would say about that. I read very few books, especially ones that are going to make me smarter. I'm all about reading books that are real garbage can. But I did read a book about potty training, and I think it was called "Oh Shit, We're Potty Training," obviously with the like little star at the shit part. But I read that book like it was literally going to make or break my life because I had 2 kids that were in diapers and all I was doing was changing diapers all the time. And so with Finn, we like made it a weekend event and we bought all of the Skittles and we literally rewarded him every single time. My kid took his first poop in a potty and there were like 7 people in a cheering section for him. I was like, you make this matter, like, so that he just associated pooping and peeing in the potty with such grand, like everybody was so happy that he was like, now he poops and he's like, there's no one to say anything, I just did that and there's nothing. That's how we did it. And we full bore, like, but then with our daughter, second kid, I was too confident. I was like, we'll get it done. So we'd kind of start and then she would like be drawing and then just pee down her leg. And I was like, oh God, I've got to be better. So yeah, just do it. Dive in. Don't have anything else planned for the whole weekend. It's just, and buy the cheapest, shittiest shorts. So if they crap in them or pee in them, it's fine.
Yeah, you just take the diaper off and let them run around, right?
Yep. And just keep having them go back to that potty.
I remember when you were potty training Finn and I watched him for you guys. Like you had to go to an audition or something. Yeah. And so I had Finn and Eleanor and my son, and Kristen's like, he gets a Cheeto if he goes to potty. And there was a lot going on at that time. So Kristen came back and she's like, all the Cheetos are gone. Did you eat all the Cheetos, Jen? I'm like, Finn ate all the Cheetos. She's like, he gets a Cheeto if and that explains our parenting right there. I'm like, have all the Cheetos. And I don't understand why he ate
it. Orange. Yeah. And I go, did he eat the whole bag? And she's like, he did, because he went pee in the potty. I was like, good God, he's going to want to live here.
Big bag, too.
Give the kid a trophy and a ribbon. The kid's got a whole trophy case. It's like, hey, it was Tuesday.
I deuced at Walt Disney World. It's great. Like, you got to do it like that. You got to reward them. Everybody can have all these psychological games or conversations you're supposed to have. It's really like, put it in the potty, you get a Skittle. That's old school.
I also love that you were potty training your kids and then just drop them off at Jen's house. I think that's the way to do it, Jason, is to go, hey, this is the weekend we're potty training. We should drop them at the grandparents' house.
He's a good friend, man. I'm sure I brought that. By the way, when I was potty training, I told my friends, look, man, I've got one goal, and that's to get this kid to pee in this potty. So it is if you're inviting me over, so is this potty. And I would put it in the middle of everybody's living room. And I was like, I'm not dealing. And Finn took so many poops in front of people that we were at the park. I brought it out at the park. I brought it to Target. I brought it to, this potty was with us all the time. It might still be in the back of my car, and I may have used it twice. I'm just,
you have the little, we have like the little seat that goes on the big potty. So you recommend we should use one of the smaller, like mobile floor models?
A little frog or a turtle.
Yes, I do.
You can literally like watch a movie and you have them just sit on the potty, and then you'll hear it or smell it, and then you get to make a big deal about it. And
okay.
I think
we're hoping there's going to be a healthy competition because they compete in all things.
Exactly.
So we're hoping that the twin v twin potty training, because once they see the adoration the first one got, I think it's going to be, because it tends to be that with everything else. So we're hoping that's going to be the way.
Like, hey, you try to pee in mine, and I'll try to pee in yours, and we'll see who has the bigger arch. Like, I know that could be a thing, but just make sure they pee in their potty. I would give them each their own, that's their own color, and like they get rewarded if they put anything in it.
Oh, I like that.
I really hate to make this admission, but I'm going to do it, you guys. My daughter, my second child, my son, like read all the books, did all that. You have the second one, you're like, whatever. I think I know what I'm doing. My daughter was so hard to potty train that I picked her up from her Montessori school on a Friday, and the teachers were like, she's the last one. She has to be potty trained on Monday. And I'm like, so just like over the weekend, you want me to potty train her? That's like, if you could just do that, I would have just done that already. I was like, okay. So it didn't work. And I picked her up Monday, and she was potty trained. I don't know what they did or what they were like holding out on. They were like waiting for me to try my thing. And they were like, I don't know. I mean, she's way better at it than my son is still, but I never potty trained her. Like, they did it all.
That's amazing. What's the name of that school? I'm gonna.
We took at our little one that we went to, the little nursery school.
Yeah.
We went to, one of the teachers I was picking up, I think it was Hannah at the time, and she had come out. She was super young. She wasn't totally potty trained then. And the teacher came out, and she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, Hannah had an accident when I was holding her, and she peed all over me." And I had just had kids. I was still goofy. I didn't really know any better. And I was totally joking, but I was like, man, you must have done something really bad then to get peed on. Like, totally joking. And she was not laughing at all. And I was like, oh, she's not going to get kids out of school. And I said, no, I'm joking. Of course, I'm so sorry. We'll work on that. But, like, the stupid things I've said to teachers over the years where I was like, I'm joking. You know, they don't have a sense of humor.
Listen, dealing with your own kids' pee and poop is hard enough. Dealing with somebody else's, you're like, there's not enough money. That's why they're all like angel people that teach and deal with that. Cause it's like, it's tough. But I will say this, potty training is so interesting. If you ever read up on it, like how what a good thing it is for them. Like the kids start to assign a real sense of confidence when they learn to potty train, which I think is really neat. Like they're really proud of themselves when they get it. It's like kind of the first time you see them go like, oh, I did this good thing. Now I feel good about myself. You see that connection for them. So it's kind of an exciting time. You'll feel overwhelmed at first, but then they'll get it and you'll be really excited.
We still say jokingly from that book, you know, the book where it's like, should I go in my diaper? No. Like,
yeah. Oh, what is that?
Should I go in my diaper? And then I'd look to the kid, and the kid would go, no. And I go, no.
Yeah.
I forgot about that book.
What is that book?
Oh, it's so cute. It's
I don't know.
It's like, who does the yucky yummy books? You know, it's that same. It's the little like round head with the curly haired baby. Oh God, they're so cute. But you know what? Oh yeah. No, I was just going to say that for my son, he like could do everything. Like he understood he was supposed to go in the potty, like pee and poop, and he would pee in there all the time, but he didn't want to go number 2. Like, and then he like wrote me a strongly worded letter. He was so old by the time he would like poop actually in the toilet that I had him watch this video on the science of why it's healthy to poop. And he like literally watched it, set it down, had this determined look, and like went in and pooped. And that like fixed it. Like, I think like kids they're also different. You have to like find the angle that like works for them.
Yeah. Ours was bribery and candy.
My
Mine
daughter
was
just holds it. She's just like,
for us.
if she's playing somewhere and she holds it. So she's like, I don't want to leave to go to the bathroom. So I'm just going to hold it. And then she gets constipated because she doesn't go for a couple days. Yeah. And then you try to give him some, Metamucil or something. And then all of a sudden she has accidents because she has the runs. And then the cycle begins again. And
we are in that right now with my daughter. She's always been that way. I also think it's when girls start to have growth spurts and stuff. Their systems are all jacked up. So Eleanor will do that. And we always talk about this. We talk about like poop confidence. I'm like, you got to have poop confidence. Like I want my daughter to be like Jen, who can poop anywhere. Literally.
Well, I was going to say, you don't have poop confidence, Kristin.
I don't have poop confidence.
I didn't either, Kristin. When I was younger, I didn't. But now I'll go on a plane. I don't care.
Oh, Eleanor can poop on a plane. I cannot poop on a plane.
Sometimes at auditions, I would go sometimes so that in case I didn't book the job, I go, look what I did. Like it's something now. It's almost arrogance. But when I was younger, I was the same where I was like, I
didn't want to poop anybody's house. No. I was like, what if it doesn't flush? That was like my biggest fear.
That happened to me. I flooded somebody's at a housewarming party.
Shovel stuff in.
And then when it started overflowing, they had just moved into this house, and I was like, I can't use these towels, so I was using toilet paper, and then I was running out of space, so I lifted
the carpet in the bathroom.
I lifted the cover off the back and I started putting the extra toilet paper in the cover, and then I was wasted in my defense. I was never invited back, even though I don't know for sure they knew it was me. Well, probably now because I've announced it. But
Jen and I dry heaved laughed one time when we read about this girl who went on a date. She went on a date and she was at the guy's apartment and she pooped in his bathroom and it would not flush, so she put it in her purse. And then she started to live tweet like how embarrassed she was. And she was like, I don't know what to do with that. And so she put it on his balcony.
On the ledge.
And then she was going to go and clean it up, but she never went on a date with him again. So she just left her poop on his.
Good times.
It's a real clear message.
And it always makes me laugh that people like, oh, men are disgusting pigs. You're like, no. Have you been to like a college girl's room? The bathroom you're like, when you walk in, you're like, holy shit.
But it just feels fair, man. It feels
That's
fair.
Another really important potty training book. It's called Everyone Poops.
Yeah.
Because it's important for us all to recognize.
I know. I just need to sometimes when I look at Gal Gadot, I'm like, it's unfair that you're this stunning, but I would like to remind myself that you also poop. So we're all we need to level the playing field.
In her defense, she probably also poops eloquently.
Yeah, she
and her
probably
poop
does.
smells awesome. And a lot of guys would eat her poop. So don't
you're disgusting.
She can sell her
rubbery angel farts.
Yeah, she shits glitter, I'm sure.
Rainbow unicorn shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, good on her.
Jen, you were talking, Kristin, you were talking about books. I'm so interested because my wife doesn't read. She doesn't read trashy novels. Every book of hers is like The 7 Habits of Successful People.
God bless her.
Yeah. I'm like, Kate, maybe pick up a little Jill Collins. What's it called? Lily Collins. Whatever Collins writes books. Well, pick up one of those. She doesn't do that.
I don't know. I feel like she's really successful, though.
Yeah,
so
she is super successful, but she's holding on tight, just so we're all on the same page. She could let go for a couple hours of some erotic literature.
I've got some I can loan.
Jen does not read anything fun either. And in fact, we were on the flight one time and I go, what? She's reading this book. It's literally the thickest book I've ever seen. And it's like a deep dive on politics, like the history of who cares. And like, I go, what? Why? I'm reading this like mystery novel about maybe potential lesbians, and she's reading this like terrible book about like important shit. I'm like, that is why this world is unhappy, because they are trying to read stuff that matters.
We can't change the system anyway, so what's the point of even knowing anything
Read
about it?
Grisham. Y'all want to. We all
I
want to
do
read
have-
like garbage.
I have a couple books, Kristen, that are about Scottish men. They're like wealthy shipping heirs, you know, and
Ooh.
So
Okay.
and then I also have a lot of books about self-help. So it's a good mix.
Do you guys, honestly, I feel like you have a self-help book raring to go for moms. Like, I feel like there's something in there, a comedic self-help
nice.
on it.
I mean, that's a fun thing to think about. I think that's we try always to say that like we don't really have any advice because we're along for the ride too. But I do think there's a lot of women out there that have really insightful things to say in like your darkest times. They can really say something in the most perfect way, and you're like, I don't know you, but this person who just commented on this thing literally changed my mind and changed my day. Yeah. Which is pretty incredible. But I don't know, Jen would be able to fashion a self-help book. I'll be
or just write a really erotic you know, young adult novel.
That's the other thing I don't think I
What
can
about
write.
an erotic self-help book?
Yes.
Erotic help.
Then we're really into self-help, aren't we?
Oh, that's what it's called. It's called
help yourself to self-help.
There you go. But I do think, listen, your videos are hilariously funny, but I also think, like we always talk about, just by telling real stories about what our kids are going through. Like before I had kids, I had no idea what was happening. And it wasn't until I started talking to other parents and they go, oh, no, my kids did that. My kids did. That I started to feel like, oh my God, maybe I'm not the worst parent. So I think people watch your videos and they not only laugh, but they also go, oh, they're going through the same shit I'm going through on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's also nice to see somebody do something. Like we did a video on, I forget what it was, but it was kind of like the first time that we'd put ourselves out there for like something about real judgment in the parenting space. And all they did was like tried to make us feel better by telling us the stuff they had done. And it was the most incredible stories. Like one girl was like, my mom opened the car door. I fell out. She didn't know I fell out. She drove 2 blocks, but then she came back and got me. You're like, oh my God. Like, could you, the most horrific things, but everybody comes out okay in the end. It's kind of nice to know somebody's there to make you feel better about the thing you did by telling the worst thing they've ever done.
Well, we always get messages too from like grandmothers, like 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds who are like, I wish you guys were around when I had kids, because there was like this image of perfection that they were trying to like hang on to. And there's nothing new under the sun. Like literally every cave person has some complaint, only it doesn't involve iPads. That's really the only difference. Like but all the complaints, all the problems with like raising kids are kind of the same.
Yeah. It's all generational. We all start to sound like our parents. It's all by design. But yeah, I think like everybody's just trying to do their best. I do think that with the state of the pandemic, I don't know, man. I think everybody's cage got rattled and we were like, wow, if I've never been more humbled as a parent in this time, it's now. Like I have no judgment because it's been highs and lows, and no. I'm not winning any awards. Let's put it
I couldn't agree more. But I will tell you, my I don't give an F quotient has gone very high.
So much higher, yes.
I care about my kids, maybe even more. But everything else, I really stopped caring about.
That's good, right? Isn't that kind of good?
Yes.
I was kind of caught up before. I was a little, definitely about school stuff, a little bit about grades, but I had a lot of pressure. I felt like, well, if we don't find the right middle school, then they won't go to the right high school, and then they won't go to a fancy college, and I want them to be better than me. And now I'm like, I don't care. Like, we will find a great school, and we'll be happy there. They'll be fine in their life. I just want them to be happy. Like, I honestly just kind of did an about face of what my ability to care about that stuff is.
But don't you now? So I always say that my kids are like an extension of my nervous system. So they're getting to an age, they're in third grade. So they're getting to not mean girl status, but status where two girls are against one. And one of the other moms called us and said that our daughter had made her. And even though my daughter, like 2 weeks earlier, came home in tears and were like, they played without me. And then the other mom called us and I'm like, oh my God, I got to deal with this crap nowadays. So it's every day, it's another, like, I want them to be happy, but to the point of like, I want to teach them not to give a crap either.
Yeah, those are tricky things because I don't know about you guys. My parents never got involved with that stuff. Like, and if they did, it was all behind the scenes. Like,
yeah, me too.
If I was having a tough go with a friend at school, like my mom would listen to me, but she would never call. She would never call a parent. She'd be like, you guys will figure it out. Tomorrow's a new day. And now we're like problem solvers in front of our kids sort of situations. I think it's tricky.
We're actually really good friends with the parents, so it wasn't like this negative thing. She just said she felt bad, and so we made our daughter write an apology letter.
Oh, very nice.
With a girl to say, I'm sorry I excluded you. And I try to tell her and go, hey, they're going to exclude you a year from now. So
Jamie, you're wonderfully warm way. Hey, listen, kid.
I know.
Come around to you. You're going to be treated like shit too, so get ready.
And then I treat her like shit for a couple hours to teach her what it feels like.
I like what you said, that your kids are an extension of your nervous system. Like, what do you mean? Like, you just feel what they feel, kind of? Or like, that's why I didn't have kids earlier in life, and I wasn't going to ever have kids, because I cry at every movie. Like, my wife's like stoic. We'll be sitting there, I'm watching like a Disney film, and I'm sobbing by the end.
The Good Dinosaur got him.
Shaking, crying.
yeah.
And so I knew I wasn't going to be able to deal with this, and I'm in the middle of it now. And every day I'm like, she had during the soccer one time, she had, she stepped on the ball and like fell on her ass in the middle of the game instead of scoring the game winner. And I just was in tears on the sideline, and she didn't care. After the game, she's out playing with her friends, and I was like shaking, like I couldn't control it. It's terrible. Like, I feel so bad.
You're a good dad. That's sweet.
Yeah. And it's right that you have girls, and it's right that you have your girls, because Hannah kills me. Let me tell you, we don't live very far apart, Jamie and I. And one time I was walking to the park, and I saw Hannah, and she's on roller skates, and she's coming down a hill so fast. Yeah. And it's like her body is first, and she does not give two shits. Yeah. And she came, I was like, do I catch her? And she came around that corner like Jamie's really athletic. Hannah's athletic. They're little carbon cutouts. And then I just saw your youngest on a skateboard. And when I tell you, she's on a longboard, Jen, and she's like walking up and down it. Like she's skateboarding with her little feet together. Like it doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you, they're both going to be little athletes.
I'll be long gone by then, but my wife's second husband's going to really enjoy some time with them.
And the good thing is she's going to be so successful that she'll know how to get a new one because she'll have read a book about it.
That's true. That's true. What are the trashy books you're reading right now? I want to hear, what's the trashiest book you've read?
Oh, I mean, I read like Grisham and Patterson a lot because I
went through a phase where I read stuff like that, and I can't remember the last Grisham I read.
I know I'm reading a book I don't like. I'm just trying to finish it. No, they didn't end up lesbians.
I always love when people finish books too. It's like I'm not really enjoying this book. I know it's been 14 hours of my life, but I just want to finish it. I just want to get it done. Why don't you just put it down?
No, my husband said the same thing. I'm like, I can't do that. It's a symbol. I can't not finish it. I've got to see it through.
Sometimes
like speed through and read the end.
No, it all comes together in the end, like a Hemingway book, and all like makes sense.
Yeah, like what if I get a real shred of information 3 pages before the end of this shitty book I'm reading? I've learned something then.
For instance, I'm forcing myself to read this Real Housewives book.
One more point for Jen, by the way.
It's not redeeming at all, but it is really interesting.
They're very big celebrities, those Real Housewives. I know it well. Yeah. All right, hey, listen, we gotta wrap this up. So you had mentioned earlier, Kristin, about the worst thing. People were coming to you and telling you the worst things they've done.
Yeah.
Like dropping their kid out of the car, driving 2 miles away. What is the worst thing you each have done with your kids?
I mean, this is a category with so many subcategories.
Yeah, and obviously, I don't want this to be used as evidence in the
Here's
court.
what I'll tell you that, and I'm going to just defend myself a little bit here. I was at Trader Joe's. If you know Trader Joe's in our neighborhood or any neighborhood, first of all, the parking lot's a nightmare and it takes so much longer than you think. And sometimes you get in there and you get distracted and you start just like kind of like losing yourself. I lost track of time. School had gotten out and I forgot that we didn't have after school care. So they didn't know where to go. And our school, you walk to the door to get them. So my kids sat in the office and waited for me. I was in the middle of Trader Joe's. It's like I came out of a bad nightmare and I go, oh my God. And I dropped everything, left the store, went around the corner to pick them up. I was 11 minutes late to picking them up. I got out of the car. I got to the office. I'm breathing heavy. I go in. Both kids, Eleanor's eyeballs are so big and they are so full of tears. Finn's like this. And I go, oh my God. Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry. And like, that has followed me. That has followed me their whole entire elementary school career. Like, it's such bullshit. It was 11 minutes one time.
That's pretty funny, actually. That should go in the act too. That's a pretty funny bit because every parent's done that. I'll sit there and I'll set timers to go pick my kids up.
And come on, it's 11 minutes. They were like, we don't know where our mom is. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like your teacher's aide. Like, you know where I am.
Somebody call the casino and get my mom.
Yeah, my mom's at the bar again. She's at the bar. Can you get her? I mean, honestly, like the G's. So now I'll say to Finn, he'll go, you got to make sure and pick me up. I'll go, I've never forgotten you. He'll go, that one time you forgot us at the school.
Yeah, the other day I told Hannah, I was trying to get her to do something, and I said, come on. It was fun. We were going like hiking or something. She goes, I don't want to go. I go, come on. Have I ever let you down before? And she goes, well, you made me try a radish. And I was like,
that's amazing. God,
I wrote it down immediately. I was like, oh, that's really funny, dude. That's really
yeah. I'm going to thank you for being a comedy source instead of something that hurts my confidence both at the same time. Thank you.
We always have, the question is when the kids get hurt, whose watch is it on? That's like, and mostly it's been on my wife's watch. So I don't have to live with that. Like I did drop Hannah once young. We were trying to take a picture in the backyard and I literally dropped her on the ground. But for the most part, my wife, they've always been injured more on her. So it's always like, hey, it's not my fault. I didn't do it.
I think we're both 50-50 on that.
That's my worst thing that I've ever done. And I feel really bad saying this, and I always tell it. So maybe I just want somebody to say the right thing that like heals me a little bit. So I'm prepared for that, which is that, the Gall boys, I'm sure, right? On Easter.
Ryan Gall, Jamie, you know Ryan Gall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ryan Gall. Yeah, absolutely.
So they were, and Kristen's kids, they were all over for Easter. We had this like egg hunt in the backyard, and then we had a really spirited badminton game. And one of the boys, really young, was small, was like 4, swung their badminton racket. And what I thought in the moment was that it was like one of those perfect comedic shots where just like the net hit like the chubby part of my son's cheek and that he was not injured. But he had actually taken part of the racket by his eye. And
I didn't know because she was busy laughing.
I was laughing so hard that everybody was looking at me like, you monster. My husband has it all on video and then cuts it off when I'm concerned, because I was like, wait, no, he's really hurt. But I was like keeled over laughing because I thought he was fine. I mean, it was just this like mess of boys and rackets. Like we should have known that would have happened, but it really looked like he wasn't hurt. But he was, and I was laughing really hard.
Oh, whatever. As long as they don't remember it.
Well, somebody say the right thing. Come on.
I
Now you're a monster. I'm taking
You're
points
not.
away. Kristin, mom's the hardest.
All the points.
All the points just went to Kristin. You're an
not a
absolute monster.
Jen, God,
And-
for the love of God. Like, their
I
parents
didn't
laugh
think-
at when they get hurt.
Terrible.
Have you watched
Honestly,
Yellowstone?
that video needs to see the light of day. That I want to see.
I know
that.
my husband has it in like a divorce file somewhere. I'm positive.
It's
like-
in a
We
safe
all-
deposit box, and he just holds it up.
We all have
Yes.
And he cut it off before you were concerned.
Yes, you don't see me concerned at all. You see me like, ha, ha,
Well, listen,
ha.
if those are the worst things you've ever done, I think you're pretty great as
Yeah, I
mom,
mean,
so I think you're
in retrospect, if that's the worst, I mean, he's fine now, right?
Yes, totally fine.
All right, hey, listen.
Not that I, but
We
everything.
know you guys have to get to another press thing in a couple minutes, but hey, everyone can find you at momsohard.com. Your tour schedule is out. I listed all the cities before. We're going to post some graphics, and we're going to scroll the tour dates underneath. Exciting. You're going to be on the road for like a good hunk of this year.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yay.
We
Yeah,
really
you guys are
appreciate
super
that.
fun.
You guys are awesome. Super funny. Everybody, Kristin and Jen from My Mom So Hard, please go see them live. Their show is phenomenal. And this one, I'm sure, will be another Amazon special that they will end up watching at home and stuff. So, and hey, dads go too.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I absolutely would.
Maybe you'll double dip. You'll get a little sex in the car, in the parking lot.
Yes.
And a little more sex home. Here's the great thing about going to your shows. I went and saw the Indigo Girls one time. I took a girlfriend. No lines at the men's room. Go right. You can like jump to the men's room, jump right back.
That's
No line. All the lines at the ladies' room.
The women take over the men's room, but the nice thing is that you'll have to pee while people stare at you.
I can't pee while
Oh,
women.
we have kids. That happens anyway.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Jamie, you're gonna have to grow up, and you're gonna have to pee in front of women.
I can't. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much. I'm Mom So Hard. You guys are awesome. Everybody check them out live, and we'll see you guys next time on the Parents Lounge.
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Have homes on separate coasts, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the Parents Lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the Parents Lounge is the cure to staying sane.